Ciao a tutti e benvenuti al nostro nono episodio di Aperitivo in inglese. Durante questo episodio parleremo di un tema che è stato molto importante durante gli anni per chi ha cercato di imparare l'inglese. Evviva, io ho sempre WhatsApp aperto, devo chiuderlo, fantastico, ce l'ho fatta, ok? Che è America versus Inghilterra. Parleremo degli accenti americani, degli accenti inglesi, delle differenze tra i due. Vedremo le varie parole, i concetti, le culture, la regina, gli hamburger, vedremo un po' di tutto. Ad aiutarmi ci sarà come sempre il mio carissimo amico Sam, che adesso andremo a chiamare. Vi auguro di divertirvi tanto e let's start here. Sam, unisciti a me.
Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Good.
I'm a little bit tired, but
Yeah,
thank you.
obviously, yeah. Like things are getting back to normal day by day, and like the amount of the workloads that we have is getting over and over every day. And let me say hi to our viewers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bridge Aperitivo in English. So basically, today we are talking about British versus American accent. So I think for me, it's a very good topic. It's a very nice topic because there are so many questions that people have regarding to this topic. People get confused about the accent, the choice of words. Yeah, it's basically, I think it's a really good thing to talk about and expand this topic more, so our viewers and everybody else who is watching us will get more familiar with this point. So yeah, let's start talking about it. What do you think about it? What's your point of view about this matter?
Well, to me, like, as I grew up as an Italian, okay, I'm not Italian, but I could say I'm Italian. To me, it was always hard to understand the British accent. It was much easier to understand the American accent, and because like most TV shows are in American, we have Friends, we have How I Met Your Mother, and they're all in with American accent. It's easier, it's really less complicated than British accent. Okay, but in schools we learn with British, I guess. Even though Italian, they have like a really weird accent.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking like it's really easier.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think basically even for me it was really hard, even though I've got a mixture of Australian and British accent, because the reason is, first of all, when I was in Australia, I was really young, so I don't really remember much. But I think
how old were you?
I think I was around 2 years old. Like I don't remember, 3, I guess. That. Well, I don't remember much about that. But the thing is that even though I don't remember anything, I think it had an implemented in my mind to my ears to get used to the accent. Even though I don't think I was talking on anything, but
there's a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments.
Is it? I can't see it now. Yeah.
Hi, Giuseppe.
Miss you a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, I think the whole about this. So basically, I'm actually my nationality, my originality is Persian, but I traveled a lot, and because of my parents' business, I've been to a lot of countries, and because of that, I had to be open to accepting another accent or even another language. So I think for me, it was always British all the time. Yes, exactly. Because even though
you do have like a British.
Yeah, I've got like a mixture of Australian and a British accent, and sometimes I even focus on my Persian accent. Like it's like a different one because I picked them. Yeah, exactly. No, the reason is because of that. It's all depends on what your ears are used to to hear. The more you hear the accent, the easier it is for you to adopt the accent or even pick it up, because the expression we use when somebody's native accent or native language is not British, they don't say that you have a British accent. You have a British accent. They say you picked up an accent. So when you pick up a new accent, it all depends on like which one is easier for you, whoever wants to pick up that accent. For me, basically, it was always British because, like, since I remember, my friends, like my closest friends, were all British, and since I was hanging out with them every day with their family at their home and everything. for me, I got really used to that point to, you know, get really more comfortable with British accent than to get American accent.
There's a comment on the background that I quite don't understand. You have like a British accent. Could you tell me? Like, Nicole says, I need a British accent, mate.
Okay, no worries, Nicole. We got a pure British guy who's going to actually help you about that. I think. Sorry, do you think it's time? But let's go to the topic and then we go through. I guess.
Yeah,
I want to ask you something before we go there. You know why there is a difference between American and British accent?
I honestly don't.
So basically, for my idea, I think like what I read about it is the American accent was kind of implemented by Noah Webster. So he thought it was much easier for people to spell American accent. It is actually obvious, yes, American accent is much easier than British accent. And he wanted to declare that the independency of American English from the British English. So because of that, for example, I think the simplest example that I could give you is the word color. So basically, we have two types of writing the word color, and there is like in the British one, there is actually a U. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an additional, but in American there is no additional U. So basically, it's about they want their independency from the British English. There are also so many other reasons that I read about. Is like the authors of the dictionaries. They also wanted to do this in a different versions, like the British and the American one. So I think this is the main topic reason that we can have why it is different than the other one.
Ok, perfetto. Andiamo a invitare, abbiamo due nostri amici, una direttamente dall'America. We have from the USA one of my best and amazing friends here, Tara from New York. I'm going to to put her here. Let me see.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm the best nice friend from New York.
Welcome to our show.
And we have another friend here. Abbiamo un altro amico dall'Inghilterra che si chiama Greg, l'avete già conosciuto. Ce la posso fare?
Hi,
Greg.
Good to have you again.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers. All right. So basically, as you guys know, we're talking about American versus British English. So, Sarah, can you start about the topic?
Yeah. So we're going to start with Tara. Tell us something about yourself, like how you got to the USA, where do you live, and how did you learn English? Okay, I know, but
so I get to talk about myself. All right, I can do that. All right, so I'm Tara. I was born in Italy, but like Sarah, I'm Persian. My whole family is Persian. That's how we actually know each other. About 3 years ago, my family decided to move here. So here I am. I'm in New York, Hicksville. And it's been quite a journey, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's been weird. It's been because when I moved here, I didn't know English like that, you know. So I had to kind of.
When did you move to New York? I don't remember.
Like it was 2017, I think.
Okay, so it's not that long. Okay.
No. Yeah, and I didn't know like the English that they taught us in school, you know, it was totally different. It was English like from England, I think, because that is not how they talk. That is not how they talk.
Yeah, I know it.
So I go around thinking, okay, I can do that, and they talk to me, and I'm like, what he just said, it was bad. It was really bad.
But did you have really like a hard time understanding the others, even though you knew English?
No, absolutely. Okay. The way they talk, the accent, and how fast they talk really, really fast. I think especially New York. they talk really fast. They don't pronounce every word, so you kind of have to make your own sentence in your mind. It's been a challenge, but it was fun.
So great. And what do you do there now?
I right now I stay home 24 hours a day because we can't get out yet. I heard in Italy you can get out, right? Poi uscire di
Yeah,
casa.
we can. But are you studying? Are you working?
I was in college. I dropped out, and now I'm in beauty school. I'm
Oh,
gonna become
nice.
a certified makeup artist.
No.
And I work 2 jobs. I work in a spa. I'm a receptionist there, in front desk. And I work in a kids store. I do piercings to little kids, like earrings and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
We have someone even from the UK. So it's really far away, different accent, different way of living. Greg, if you would like to tell something about yourself.
Hey guys. Well, first of all, thank you for having me back. It's great to be here. Second of all, I didn't realise that so many people had difficulty understanding a British accent. I guess for me, growing up around people who spoke with different British accents, it just felt completely natural to be able to understand it.
For you, if you like to, like, we have a comment here. I think English, Arabic.
The English, Arabic.
That's definitely for Sam.
What? I mean, I love the way Why did you put him in the same sentence? Okay, go on.
That's a nice ego boost for you, Sam. What would we say? Yeah, so I was born in Manchester, grew up in Manchester, so I've always been surrounded by British accents here. And as part of, I studied languages at university, and as part of that, I spent some time abroad teaching English. So I was with you guys in Milan for a bit, and I was also in Madrid, doing some more traveling. So I've come across a lot of people who are trying to learn English, and really the big difficulty is understanding a British accent. So I think it's great to be able to expose yourself to all those different accents and try and listen to something different, because it's not something you hear all the time.
Yeah, so quello che ha detto Greg, allora, Tara ha fatto una breve introduzione su se stessa, il fatto che è andata in America da quando si è trasferita lì, e ci ha raccontato che è stato molto difficile per lei all'inizio, nonostante lei abbia imparato l'inglese a scuola e lo parlava. Abbiamo sentito anche Greg che ci ha raccontato che comunque lui è cresciuto in Inghilterra e faceva l'insegnante in Italia e in altri paesi anche, vero Greg, di inglese.
Sì, in Spagna, sì.
Quale pensi, Greg, che sia la cosa più difficile per gli italiani per imparare l'inglese britannico? Cioè, quale pensi che siano le parole più difficili per noi quando sentiamo, quando ascoltiamo? Perché pensi che per l'italiano sia così difficile l'inglese?
Non lo so, secondo me non c'è una parola in particolare, cioè non esistono delle parole che sono più difficili, diciamo, però secondo me quello che è più difficile è l'accento. So the accent is what's much more difficult to understand, I think, rather than specific words. Non ci sono delle parole che sono difficili, because the words, or most of the words, are the same as in American English, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of those differences, but actually, I think the most difficult thing when you first start to learn, or when you first start to hear a British accent, is just to think, oh, that sound is slightly different to what I'm used to. So it's about getting used to the different sounds.
Do you agree with what I said, that like the more you listen to that particular accent, the easier for you to learn that accent, to adopt that accent? Because so many people, like, usually because especially a lot of people, they go through the word of English language by movies. So at the first maybe they hear it in schools, but even if they learn it in schools, basically the teachers are the native teachers with their native the accent. So I don't think that can count into the word of accent. So people usually start with movies, and I think movies are basically 90% of the time that they watch it is American movies. So like we have so many British TV shows or movies. Like I don't know if you heard about Misfits, Greg. Yeah, like Misfits was one of my most favorite TV shows, like British TV shows. I think because people go through the word of accent from American movies, so their ears get used to American accent, not to the British accent.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for them to pick it up or even understand it sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Sam. And I think your comment before we came on about picking up a language is really true. I think that's really the key thing. Definitely when I was growing up, when I was younger, we were surrounded by American TV. Even here in Britain, we were surrounded by American TV. And it's everywhere in the world. So when you grow up, all you're exposed to is that accent. And actually, the more you're exposed to it, the more you remember a word or a phrase. And you'll always quote your favorite phrase from a movie or from a series, and you start to learn the accent like that. So it really is about picking it up.
That is true. This is a really fun fact for me that it actually caught my eyes a couple of years ago, and I couldn't actually find the answer for it. If you sing, even if you're British, but if you sing, the accent is American, it's not British. Why is that?
It's true.
No. Like, okay, I'll give you a best example, Sam Smith. Okay, Sam Smith is British, but every song that he sang before is in American. I don't know why, like Adele, when she sings, it's American accent, it's not British accent. Is there a reason for that, or is like automatically happens? Like, is there something built in?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that just over years and years and years of music, because there's been so many American artists, and that's most of what you listen to, it just becomes natural to sing. If you're a young kid and all you hear is American artists, even if you're British, you start to sing like that singer, and eventually I think it just becomes quite natural to sing like that. There's some really interesting videos of people from different parts of the UK who might have really strong accents, but when they sing, they either sound American or more neutral, and you can't hear their accent at all. Really interesting. I don't know. There's probably like a linguistic or a psychological reason why, but it's probably what we're exposed to as kids.
So I have a question for Terra. Oh no.
Are we going through the questions? All right.
Sorry, I have a question.
All right, so you're completely fine. I'm going to ask Greg the first question. Greg, how do you feel about American accent? I mean, what do you think in general about it?
See, I think from a British point of view, I don't really know what an American accent is, in the sense that what we watch on TV, I feel like we hear so many stereotypes, like the California girl, or like in the South. There's like, I'm from Texas. And after last week, I'm not going to do any more accents again.
Alabama.
But we hear all those, and I feel like they're such stereotypes. And actually, the US is such a huge country, isn't it? And there's so many different accents that it's so difficult to know what is an American accent. There's no right answer.
Exactly.
But I love the way it sounds.
Really.
Yeah, Tara, do you know like all the American accents? Like, could you tell?
I think New York has its own type of accents, like the
the Italian kind of.
Exactly. Because there are so many Italian who moved there back in the days. Like also like a lot of movies which is about New York, they have that like specific accent, like with Goodfellas or like with Joey Pesci, like that. Like I think it's I love that, and I could not pick up that accent at all. Yes, I try because I love picking up new accents. I really like it. Like as a hobby, I like to do it. That American accent, I cannot pick it up. There's no way I can do it. Like
how was for you, Sarah? Like going there and living the American dream, and you always saw it on the TV.
So when I moved here, the idea I had of the American dream and what actually happened were two completely different things. I was in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wake up in the morning in Manhattan. I'm gonna be with my Starbucks, running around with my high heels and all that. Like, that was what I was thinking. Sex and the City kind of thing, Reality is, it's not like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. America And I think New York is a great place of opportunity. So you can really do a lot of things in New York. For example, I'm about to start my makeup business, and I could not have done it in Italy. In Italy, for example. So New York, I don't know about all America because I really just been here, but in New York really gives you the chance that you didn't have where you came from. Um, so yeah, it's been hard though because New York.
What were like the most difficult English words to pronounce and to learn in general?
All right, so I think that actually, like the word actually, is really hard to say. Actually,
Okay.
because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't know every time because I say it a lot because everybody around me says a lot, so I say it a lot for some reason now. And every time I say it, I feel like, oh, I feel like I messed up. I feel like I didn't say it right. I don't know. That's the only word that I
How do
feel
you
like
say it actually, Greg?
Actually.
actually.
I think the actually version of the British one is like basically we use it a lot. Like I've heard it a lot. Basically, it's like the actually for Americans.
Basically, yeah. We use basically.
Definitely like that. I've heard it a lot. I use it a lot, like anywhere. Basically, technically, these are like I think these are the main.
Technically, yeah.
And like the titles for British actually.
Yeah.
Most of the sentences by using these words.
Yeah, I think it's one of the hardest things to learn as well when you're learning a language. Those kind of filler words, those words that just kind of go in the middle of a sentence.
Kind of a game for you. I will say like a word, and I want to hear like a two different pronunciation.
Okay.
You two. And just give me one here. I can do it. Go, Sarah. Go. Okay. Apartment. I know that apartment is a word that is different from the American. Vuol dire appartamento. È diverso da americano e inglese, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How do you say it in American? Try to say it. Apartment.
Whereas we would say apartment or flat. We have a different word for it altogether.
I think it's I heard flat in British.
I didn't know flat.
Apartment.
Yeah.
I think it's flat. Yes.
Oh,
flat.
that's flat. Okay, I'm gonna go. Closet. So how's in British and in English and in American?
Closet.
Yeah,
right?
closet is American. British, great.
We would say cupboard or wardrobe.
Okay, cupboard. I heard cupboard and wardrobe. Okay.
Can you say wardrobe one more time?
Wardrobe. Is it funny? Wardrobe. Is that one funny? Wardrobe.
How do you say? Okay, I'm gonna say it in Italian, so it's better. How do you say ascensore?
We would say lift.
Okay.
Wait.
Lift.
How do you say ascensore? Wait. Elevator. There you go. Sorry. Now I'm speaking in Italian and Iranian. Elevator. You know what?
That's awesome.
When you sometimes.
Okay.
Sarah, let me tell you that. Sometimes I'm like talking to whoever and I start speaking or Iranian or Italian or Spanish and people look at me like, what are you talking about? And I have so many languages in my brain.
There you go. We just found out the most difference between British and American. Okay, you say Iranian, right?
Why do you say Iranian? Why do you say Iranian?
Other than America, they call us Iranian, not Iranian, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Biggest difference here is right here.
Okay.
Iranian, yeah.
Okay, how do you say amico?
Friend.
It's not mate.
Mate? It's more informal though. Much more. It's just someone you know really well. It's like, oh, I'm just going to see my mates down the road. Yeah, friend or mate.
Okay. Postino.
Postman.
You say postman in USA?
No. Postman is British.
I say postman. How you guys say it?
What did you tell us it's British?
How you guys say it?
I think
I see it.
in American it's mostly mailman.
Oh, I always say postman.
Yeah. Like, so many people like. I think the words that is like basically 100% of the time is different. There are some words like let's say gas. In America, you call it gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in British, what do you call it, Greg?
Petrol.
Exactly, petrol.
So how do you call petrol?
What's
You say
petrol for you?
But basically, I think it's because you were in Italy. Because in Italy, they also call it the English version. It's like petrol. It's like a European version. But like, basically, what do you call a diaper? Like a diaper, in America, it's diaper. But in British, I'm sure it's different because I heard it.
A nappy.
A nappy.
A nappy.
Yeah.
No idea why is that. Like, you take a nap. That's not. Is that like? This is my like one of the biggest words that I was always like, why? Why would you call it a nappy?
You know what freaks me out every time? So in America, we say for biscotti, cookies.
Yeah.
But you guys, how you say it?
Biscuits.
Yeah, biscuits.
No, you know what's a biscuit? If you go to Popeyes, where you the chicken store or whatever, you ask for a biscuit.
That was the most American thing I heard today. If you go to Popeyes, you loved it. Thank you, Tara. You just
See where
if you go to Popeyes and you ask for a biscuit, they give you like a bun kind of thing.
Tara, do you know there's a boyfriend like rooting for you here?
you present NY.
He's my
Exactly.
fiance.
Also, like, okay, biscuit, like in Australia, they call it bicky. It's not any of that. It's bicky, biscuit, and cookies. Like,
we have some. Our biscuits and cookies are two different things. Like a biscuit is something you dip in a cup of tea,
yes,
whereas
exactly.
a cookie is like baker or chocolate chips.
Oh, and you know what? Sorry, I'm just gonna say chips.
Crisps.
Crisp.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Like a packet of crisps that you eat.
Yeah. Chips.
And
is
how
like
you call French fries?
British is
Chips.
If you come in America,
Sorry, go on.
We
no,
say
sorry, go ahead.
And get some chips.
I do have a question for Tara. As a Persian girl, like moving there, do you have like your first like the first story that pops into your mind? Moving there, like a story that you want to tell.
All right. So when I first moved here, I waited for my social security and for my green card to start working, and that happened about 1 or 2 weeks after I moved here. So I started working in this burger place where I met Wayne actually. So when I started working there, I didn't know English like at all. Like I was like, okay, so the English I know ain't the English that they taught me. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm saying. So let me just be in the kitchen so I don't have to talk to nobody. They put me at the register. Like the register, Sarah.
You're literally the face of
The
that.
register.
But you can also register in the UK. I really want to know that. Okay, that's the same. Okay, go on.
They put me at the register where you have to take the order that goes in the kitchen. Now, for somebody that don't know what you're saying, it's really messed up to do. Like you don't do that.
Nice. That's amazing.
So what happened one time is this lady asked me for a box to go, okay? And I will never forget because that was a burger place. And she asked me for a box to go, and I heard, "Can I have some tacos?" So I look at her and I'm like, "We don't sell tacos."
I didn't understand. What is it?
She said that she wants a box to go, but she said it so fast. She said it with an accent. I don't know. But I heard, "Can I have a taco?"
Oh.
And I look at her and I'm like, "We don't sell tacos." And she's like, "I didn't ask for a taco. I said a box to go. What, are you stupid?" I'm like, "Whatever. Okay, sorry." Like, oh my God.
The typical
Yeah, they're so
parents in
rude.
America.
And I was like, okay, but I mean, never made that mistake ever again.
That was good. All right. One question, Greg. Is there anything that you love about the UK, like culture, language, anything that you don't see in the US?
Ooh.
And if you were able to steal it, you would definitely steal it and bring it to you.
We're all friends here.
So is there anything I love about the UK that I'd love to see in the US?
Yes.
Ooh. I'm trying to think.
Tea, right?
I think the most important thing about British culture, apart from tea, is being able to talk about the weather. Every British person loves to do it. We all talk about the weather, no matter whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, whatever weather it is. We always start a conversation
We
by
do it
saying,
too.
"Have you seen the? Do you do it too?" Oh well, then the perfect.
Yeah.
With the tea. America's perfect.
God bless America.
Yeah, we do it all the time when we don't know what to talk about. Like, oh, you see the weather today is really hot. It's really cold. Like,
I think that's a bit of an icebreaker to so many
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah.
Basically an icebreaker.
There's something that you would like to like take from the British culture.
Popeyes. Don't say Popeyes.
Oh, I don't know because I will. All right, so I think that British men are more classy. So I would like to see more
This is
in America. I love you.
Yeah.
But this just you know, I feel like I would want to see more in America. The classy,
Everyone
even the
always
girls,
says.
honestly.
Everyone always.
There's
I always hear
always-
American.
There's something about the British guys for women. Every time I see a British guy, I'm like, he has a British accent. Does this work for you, Greg, when you travel?
Well, I always hear people say that British accents are sexier, but I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe the viewers will have to. We'll have to have a vote.
Does this work for you when you travel?
Say that again.
Does this work for you whenever you travel?
It hasn't yet, sadly, but we'll see. We'll have to see.
There are tips. Like, I think the reason
It's okay.
basically the reason is like when a British guy wants to start flirting with a girl, okay, automatically their voice will be 10 times deeper than usual. Like that is something that I know. I'm sure about that. Okay. So and also when they and the accent already, yes, I think the accent is super attractive to anyone, not just
maybe it's just because we haven't heard it as much. We're so used to American accents that it's just nice to have it something different.
Yeah. I love
But
British.
I don't like English accent.
So many other reasons. Like, I think one of the main reasons is James Bond is British. So, like, people love that. They know a character because of that character. The accent is not the accent is British. And, they love the characters. So because of that, they also like the accent.
Yeah.
And they literally get attracted to it. So we go back to the same topic at the beginning. Like, because people usually start everything with American movies or like with movies, not just American. They pick up the most important thing and they will just be on their mind for the rest of their lives. I think this is the main reasons you can actually get there to this point. But
I've started with friends, and the problem for the Italian culture is like in Italy they have like the voiceover. So like in the northern place, like in Sweden or Norway, they have like the original movie like in English, but we don't have it. So this is the main problem in Italy. And that's pretty much it. But I've seen like Friends, blah blah blah. Now with Netflix, things are different. But it was really hard at the beginning.
When I moved here. Go ahead.
Sorry, Tara. No, you go.
No, I was saying when I moved here and I was watching movies, like movies that I've seen in Italy before, and I was watching it in English, like American English. I was like, oh, so that's his voice? It sounds different.
So what for instance? Tell us some movies.
Like for example, even Goodfellas. I've seen it in Italian.
Goodfellas?
Yeah. In school, it was what
Never seen it.
last year.
No,
Say what?
I watched that movie in English.
never seen
They have that, you know,
You
the
never
Italian,
seen it?
yeah, it's like they have
Yeah,
the
I've
Italian mob,
Mhm.
the accent and
like
everything.
Italian Mafia or
It's an
whatever.
amazing movie. Like, I really love that
Yes,
movie. You should watch it,
and I
Sarah.
watched it in Italian. It was like in the program in the last year in high school. So we watched that in Italian, and then I watched it here in English, and I'm like, that wasn't his voice. That didn't sound like
Completely
that.
different.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Sorry, Greg, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's easier than ever before now with Netflix and all that to find, if you're in Italy and you're learning English, you can take off the Italian voice and put the English one on. So it's the best time really for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Tara, I have a question for you. Is it true that in the US they think like we are just the Italian people are just pizza and like la dolce vita, blah blah. What they think about the Italian people here?
So they do think that. They have no idea about anything else that we did or we have. For them, we're just pasta, pizza, wine, and dolce vita and mamma mia. That's all they know about us. That's why when I moved here, I was, trying to teach them a little bit, like we have much more. Like, yeah. And the thing is, the way they think we cook is really weird. Like, Sarah, you live in Italy. Do we have Alfredo sauce?
No. These are stereotypes that they think.
What is the Alfredo sauce?
No, it's something
I
that
don't
people
know.
outside of Italy invented. Like, basically,
Yeah.
if you eat like a pasta carbonara, okay, in anywhere but Italy,
Yeah.
it's nothing like carbonara. It's not carbonara. It's just a huge amount of cream with ham and like egg and bacon and everything, which is not carbonara.
Ah!
Like, when I ate carbonara here, I was kind of offended. I was like, what is this? This is not carbonara. And the guy was like, hey, this is carbonara. I tell you what it's carbonara. All right. I'm sorry, mate. My bad. Okay, like, nothing is the same outside
There
of
was
Italy.
the British,
Italian label.
there was a British TV show where the Italian chef like really freaked out. Greg, have you seen it?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Gino
yes, I've
Da
seen it.
Campo on
Yeah.
This Morning, which is like one of the most watched programs in Britain, and it's like a chat show, and they get people on, and they were making. He does this segment like once a week or something where he makes an Italian dish, and they all try it, and they were making a carbonara, and one of the women was like, "You need to put more cream in. This isn't a carbonara," and he just looked at her, he went,
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's also like, if you put ham in it, it will be something like another thing, and the guy completely loses it. He
Yeah,
said something like, if my grandma rides a bicycle, like something like that. Like,
yeah. If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bicycle.
yeah, exactly.
As
Bicycle.
in, like, if it would be something completely different if it was.
Yeah,
There
that
are
is.
some differences between also not only the culture from the UK and the US, but also the food. Like there are some differences. Like, okay, there are something really similar. Like they all eat really a lot of fast food, British and the US people. How do you see that? What are your feelings about that, Greg?
I think, yeah, it's something that was definitely true in the past, but I think now and as we go into the future, I think kind of healthy eating places are becoming.
People are starting like to commenting about carbonara is getting really confusing here.
That is perfect. Horror carbonara.
Exactly. It's like politics, to be honest.
I think in the
Horrorama.
UK though, aside from carbonara, I think healthy eating places are getting so much more popular, particularly like vegan and vegetarian places. So I think though everyone loves fast food and there's loads of McDonald's and KFC and Burger King, I think there's a lot of kind of healthy
Popeye?
eating places. No Popeye.
No Popeye, no.
No.
I don't know what it is.
Tara, how do you call McDonald's in America? Do you have like a
McDonald's.
word for, like, you call it like MacD, something like that? Or it's just McDonald's?
I never heard it. We call it McDonald's.
McDonald's. But like in British is Mac's, right?
Mackies, yeah.
Like, and in
Okay,
Australia,
there's a question here. Sorry, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Ci sono anche differenze nella gestualità tra
Between American
between the
and
American and the British.
so I will start by saying that okay, I'm gonna say the nicest way possible. American, especially in New York.
We don't
really
want lawsuits or people like swearing. We all love you.
No,
Friends
love.
from the
It's
UK
all
and
love.
the US. Let's all hug the laptop.
But I think that people in America are always on the run. Like they're so busy doing a lot, especially in New York. So they really like all their movements, how they move, how they talk is really fast, and the way they move their body while they talk is really fast, agitated. Gives me anxiety
More than
sometimes.
Italian people.
Well, we like as I'm talking, I'm going like this.
Italian like I think just the hand gesture is fine, like not completely with the body, you know.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
they're really, I'll say, aggressive sometimes when they talk. So their body is just always all over the places.
Yeah,
I agree.
But
I
I
think
I agree too. Yeah.
in the UK, I think we're a lot more reserved. We're a lot more quiet and kind of small in our gestures. So we might do, a hand movement to demonstrate something. But other than that, I think we're very reserved and inwards with our gestures.
Is it
Yeah,
true
that's
that
what I thought too.
people are really like polite and they talk really like with a low voice and everything? Is it true even in the US, Tara?
No, in the US, the louder you are, the better. I can be right next to you and we're yelling at each other for what reason? I don't know. But that's how it is. And I'm fine with it because I'm really loud too. So that's my place.
Okay. And what about the public transportation of the two places? Okay, you live in Manchester, but Greg, you live in Manchester, but you've been also to London or any cities from the UK. And Tara,
Yes.
you come from one of the most crowded places in the US. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
So I honestly took the bus or the train really few times because they are really expensive. They are really crowded, like really crowded. And they are so much. Like there's so many people going on, so many things going on a train or on a bus that I take the car everywhere I go. Everywhere. Like if I drive, yeah, everywhere. If I have to go to the city because where I live and the city are like 35, 40 minutes, the city is far away from me, I might take the train, but if I know it's not peak time, so not at 5, not at 4, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll take the train because otherwise it just go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas for us, it depends because the UK is a lot smaller, but actually the transport links between cities aren't that great. So people are increasingly turning to things like cycling and riding bikes, kind of to get into work in the mornings and things like that. There's been a lot of controversy recently over particularly people in the north feeling like the government doesn't invest a lot of money in public transport. So really people are trying to get a lot more investment and a lot more money spent on public transport to try and improve things like trains and buses. Because it's like you were saying, Tara, like they're all overcrowded, they're too expensive, they're too slow, they don't come on time. So
and you
yeah,
drive in a different position than in the UK with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to drive anywhere but the UK?
No. Only because we drive on the left-hand side of the road. So I think I just get so confused with everyone driving on the other side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, I
How
actually
you even do that?
Yeah, I'm even like that because when I lived in Malaysia, it's all the same. Like it's on the other. So I haven't driven anything on the right and the left side. I've always been on the right side. I always drove like that. Learn how to drive with the right side.
Yeah.
So if I get my license here in Italy, yeah, that's going to be a problem. People should be aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. I
we got-
wasn't even thinking about it, but y'all drive weird too.
Yeah. It's like so many countries, like especially like the colonies of British are they're on the right side. All right. Okay. Wow, we've been here for 45 minutes. That's nice. That's
Wow.
great. All right. So thank you so much guys,
Yeah.
for joining us.
Sorry, we have one last question, and then I'm gonna So we have a question from Giorgio. He asked, "Is more easy to find?"
Polyglots.
Oh, what's that word? I don't know.
Polyglot.
In UK, are these people immigrants or natives? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Go on.
And these
What-
people are immigrants or native?
What a great
apologies.
question.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a huge question. All right, Greg.
Do you know
go
what?
first. Thank you.
I don't know what the answer to this is. I'm trying to think of my experience learning languages and teaching languages. Maybe it's slightly easier in the US because there's just more people there. Actually, the UK really is quite a small country, and so it lowers the chances of finding polyglots, people who speak lots of languages. But from my experience, really the people that I've found are ones who come from all different countries. So who either have been living in the UK for a while, but maybe their parents aren't from the UK, and so they learn, they learn English and a different language at home that their parents spoke. I think that's kind of the most common situation in the UK. Maybe in the US it's slightly different. I'm not sure.
I mean, the USA is like we have people from everywhere, like everywhere in the world. Look at me. I was born in Italy, but my family's from Iran, and I'm in America, and that's 3 languages right there. And then I know Spanish and German and a little bit of French, and that's there. I think USA definitely has a lot of people from all over the places, and I don't know who the natives of USA really are at this point. There are none. Like they're from everywhere.
Wayne says, "Can I hear everyone say hammock?"
Hammock.
Hammock?
Hammock.
Yeah.
There you go.
All
There
right,
you go,
that's
Wayne.
because
Wayne.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to pronounce it.
Sorry, but there's comment about me. I want you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
I
Sarah,
have-
yes, you are so beautiful.
I haven't shown any of others, but this one I want to for my ego.
You are beautiful.
All
So
right.
thank you everyone for being here. È stato
Thank you
molto
for having
bello.
us.
It was amazing. Thank you, Greg, for being here also.
Thank you for having me again.
Sam, for being always my biggest support. Thank you, Terra. Spero veramente di rivedervi. Grazie a tutti per aver partecipato. Non vi dimenticate di iscrivervi, mettere pollici in su e commentare, condividere. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you. No worries about it. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are here actually. So thank you so much, Greg, Tara, for being our guest. It was really great to talk to you both about this topic, which is a really important topic about so many English learners who want to know the differences and which one is easier to pick up, what are the ways to actually pick up it easier, or pick it up easier or like harder. Today was a great one, and thank you all, and also thank you our viewers for being here, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Can we have the Italian version of the goodbyes?
From you guys. From you guys.
From
Yeah, you
us.
guys will give you this one.
Wait, the Italian version of goodbyes are like ciao,
Yeah.
right? Help me.
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole thing, the whole thing.
Ciao, sai benissimo salutare i telespettatori, dire ciao a tutti. Almeno Greg è in inglese,
Ok.
quindi
Ok,
Ciao a tutti.
riproviamo.
ok.
vai, provate ragazzi. 1, 2, 3.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao, ci vediamo
Ciao a tutti.
nel
Invita-
futuro.
Grazie, thank you so
Right,
much.
guys. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Thank you.